I want to remind everyone, because it's been a hot second since I brought up Caitlin Clark. And I think I've discussed her on the Sporting Class. I think I've discussed her on this show, where she moves markets. And when you've got someone who moves markets, you have to pay attention to that person. You have to recognize how to exploit that person, how to, and I say that not with any sort of remorse or any sort of disgust. That's the job of a league. That's the job of the team that has the player. You do what you can to monetize and maximize the existence of that player, because things don't always last. Caitlin Clark starting year 2 of the WNBA season. Here we go. She had a preseason game against the Brazilian national team, and for crying out loud, Meatloaf, 1.3 million people watched it on ESPN. 1.3 million people. Let me put that in perspective, just between us. No NBA preseason game has had that audience in the last 7 years. Only 2 preseason games in the NBA have had that audience in the last 15 years. More people watched this preseason game than game 1 of last year's WNBA finals. No MLB spring training game has ever come close. The most is when 912,000 people watched the Yankees-Phillies, and that was 20 years ago. 1.3 million people watched Caitlin Clark. It is impossible to have any other conclusion than you are dealing with a unicorn. And what the WNBA has tried to do is show that she's not that. They've tried to show that she has been the bridge over which the rest of the league will walk into greener pastures, into better TV deals, into a CBA that changes the life of all of the players in the league, based on all the excitement and all of the revenue that is being generated by Caitlin Clark. And then you realize that without Caitlin Clark, numbers are good, numbers are improving, but not like this. And the danger when you're negotiating a CBA, which they are doing in the WNBA right now, is that if you think you're going to pull one over on Adam Silver and the NBA owners by using the Caitlin Clark narrative as a way to maneuver into a better financial situation for the league, you're barking up the wrong negotiating tree. You are for sure not going to get the type of satisfaction that you think you are going to get in terms of minimum salary in the WNBA, in terms of the perks. You'll get some stuff that doesn't cost money. You want better travel? You'll get better travel. Better food? No problem. But when you talk about payroll, salaries, minimum, maximum, pension, retirement benefits, things that matter to the owners, you can't use Caitlin Clark for this. And I don't want to say that it is not a big deal what the WNBA and the improvements it's made, because they have. The regular season starts just a week from Friday. The Indiana Fever will be on. I assume, Coca, that when she's playing, it will be a nationally televised game almost every time. I assume they'll open the season, which Coca just whispered in my ear. He won't tell me the Celtics' 3-point field goal percentage for the season, but he will tell me that the Fever open the season on Saturday, May 17th at 3 p.m. Happy birthday, Mom. You can celebrate your birthday by watching Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark. 41 of their 44 regular season games, thank you, Coca, will be nationally televised in 2025. Think about that. That's the equivalent of, let's just say, 80 of 82. That's really a lot. In baseball, that'd be like if 140 of your games were on national television. It's a tremendous number, as it should be. Think about what the partners of the WNBA are thinking as they head into their season. They're thinking that our best chance here is to ride her coattails into money, into fame. It is impossible for the rest of the league to fully comprehend what kind of business driver she is, what kind of revenue driver she is, even though we keep giving stats about this. We keep explaining to the other players, listen, you can love or hate Caitlin Clark, but you cannot deny what her incremental value is. And the only way to pass on that incremental value is to promote and have the next Caitlin Clark. Why? Because year one, outstanding. Year two is shaping up to be fantabulous. It's going to end. Whether it ends in year 3, year 4, year 7, year 10, it'll end by injury. It'll end by lack of performance. It'll end by, hey, we've moved on. What do you have for me now? When you have a player who drives revenue in this way, when you have the opportunity to monetize it, to exploit it, as I said earlier in the show, the other thing you have to be doing at the same time is you have to be figuring out the replacement. And it's such a harsh, harsh world. There was a whole movie about it called The Substance with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. You have to figure out the replacement for better or for worse. And the reason you do it, obviously, is that when you make business decisions based on cash flow and expected cash flow over the course of years, and it's based on something that may not exist out in future years, you got to know what the replacement is so you can keep the money flowing. This way, you have the ability to look at your fans, to look at fellow owners, to look at Caitlin Clark, and to just say, we love you, but it's just business.